Hey you guys, sorry to do this to you in the car, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and I wanted to make sure I got a video up. This is going to be a what sold from last week video. We are going to be diving into what sold last week on both eBay and Poshmark. I will share with you my sales numbers, some of my costs, as well as dive into some highlighted sales and tell you about why I picked the items up. Let's dive in. All right, you guys, so everything that you see here on the screen is reporting from October 24th through the 30th. That is a Sunday through a Saturday. And in total, between eBay and Poshmark, I sold 91 items for a gross sales total of $3,025.88, making my average sale price $33.25. Estimated cost of goods based on an average buy cost was $364 for last week. And my estimated net after fees, shipping costs, and cost of goods was $1,843. On eBay, I sold 59 items. On Poshmark, we sold 32. Just over $2,000 gross sales on eBay and almost $1,000 on Poshmark. Let's go ahead and dive into some of these sales because I do have quite a bit to show you. This is one of those items that I did sit on, and I'm not going to lie and say that they are super quick flips. However, I always pick up these Guess jeans with a question mark patch because they do bring really high profits. So certainly not all Guess items are worth picking up. However, the vintage denim, especially with this patch on the back with the question mark, is very desirable. These ones were kind of special because they were a really rare purple color. Picked these up for $4.99 at a regular Goodwill. I actually found a ton of these jeans on the same section. This was the only like super rare color one, and so I was willing to get it and sit on it. Had this listed for $84.99. It did sell at my full asking price. Next up is the sweater by Sundance. Sundance in their sweaters has a really good following. This was a wool blend, and I really liked the multicolor pattern. It was also a longer length. This one was missing a button, which is why I think it did take so long to sell. You can see it's right in the middle, and unfortunately I got so excited when I found this that I just kind of threw it in my cart and didn't check it over as well as I should have. I accepted an offer on this of $30, which I thought was still a really good return on investment despite the fact that a button was missing. J. Crew is a brand that I come across very, very often in both men's and women's. This black label, I believe, is one of their newer labels. So we're steering clear of pretty much everything we find in J. Crew unless it's a really good material or what I would consider a more substantial piece. This is a more substantial piece in J. Crew. In my opinion, the career wear does really well in both men's and women's. I really like selling J. Crew blazers. This was a professional career dress. The only way I can describe to you how I knew to pick this up was because the material was just so super thick, and you can tell it was very, very high quality. Normally, again, I'm passing on J. Crew pieces, but this one just, again, felt very high quality, and I did know that the more office, business, professional pieces did well in this brand. This one I had listed for $39.94, and it sold on an offer for $35.95. Another dress that sold, I've actually been selling a surprising amount of dresses, and so we're still going through that section, just because, again, they are selling. This is the brand Title IX. I pick up almost everything I find in this brand as long as it's in good condition. This was a turtleneck sweater dress, so definitely a more substantial piece. Had this listed for $34.97. It sold on an offer for $31.47. Next up is something we really like picking up at the bins. Now, I'm not going to go off and say that you should pay full price for this at a thrift store, but at the bins, it's definitely worth getting. They're pretty quick flips. This is just the Nike tee, and we pick them up all day long, short sleeve, long sleeve, men's, women's, as long as it's in pretty good condition. Again, we do normally pick these up at the bins. These have actually been selling surprisingly for a lot more than what I would expect them for. Since they were selling so quickly, we decided to go ahead and up the price, and since we've been doing that, they have still been selling. So I'm really shocked at the amount that I can get for these, and I'm going to continue picking them up at the bins. Next up is a pair of bed sheets. This one actually someone purchased, quote unquote, however, they didn't end up paying, and therefore the item got relisted. They sold again, and they sold on an offer for $22.95. I pick up a lot of vintage bed sheets. If I can find the date on them, which these I believe did have, or else I was able to find the exact same one with the dating. And I don't know, they just do really well. Sometimes I can't get a ton for them, but most of the time I'm picking them up at the bins. So this was just a vintage DC Comics 1989 Joker full sheet. This was pretty lightweight. And again, yeah, sold for 23 bucks. Can't beat that, especially at the bins. Another item I found at the bins, and this one really shocked me. I normally pass on this brand. The brand is J brand. It retails for quite a bit, but the resale value is typically not there, mainly because the sell-through rate is not there. So that means there's a ton of them listed, but not many people are buying them. So I usually just kind of skip on this, but I did notice that this had a lot more detail with these buttons. A lot of people describe these in the haul video as being kind of rockabilly pinup style, and that this kind of style does really well in a lot of jeans. So I was able to look up the exact style name, which was on the inside, and we found out that these were called the Natasha Seriously Black Skinny Jeans. With a button fly, and these particular style and pattern of jeans are very desirable and have a really good sell-through rate. So I think from here on out, if I see any J brand jeans that look kind of unique, I am going to look them up, because I got a really good return on investment for this. We had them listed for $69.89. They did not take long to sell, and they sold for full asking price. I was really surprised by that sale, but it just goes to show that it's more about the factors rather than the overall brand. Next up is this J. Crew women's alpaca sweater. Again, not a brand we typically pick up, but this one had a lot of factors going for it. Substantial piece in a sweater, had that kind of Nordic Fair Isle print to it, and it was an alpaca blend sweater. For all of those reasons, we picked it up. I just also really like the color scheme of this. This one we had listed for $39.89, and it did sell for full asking price. Next up is a brand I think a lot of people know about, but in case you don't, I wanted to mention Rock Revival. This brand does well in both men's and women's, but especially in men's. I have not really found any style in the men's that do not do well. This one was called the Finn Slim Boot, and I could tell it from the classic thick stitching on the side. This one we had listed at $49.89. It sold very quickly for full asking price. Here's another brand you guys know I love picking up. The brand is Duluth Trading Company. We came across this blazer in a 3XL tall, which, if you didn't know, this brand is known for their bigger sizes in the men's department. So a lot of people like shopping there for that reason. So in this brand in particular, when you have larger sizes, they become more valuable and more sought after. This one was just a cotton canvas blazer jacket. We had it listed for $49.89, and it sold for full asking price. This is another brand that I absolutely love picking up at the bins lately. Again, bins, because it doesn't sell for a ton, but has a really great following, and the brand is Universal Thread. I believe this is sold at Target. This was even a size extra small, but what I like to do is pick up this brand in substantial pieces at the bins, and it usually flips between $15 and $20. Kind of like Knox Rose for me. It's something I know is tried and true. I'm not going to get a lot for it, but it's easy to pick up because I come across it so often, and I get my money back pretty quickly and then some. So this was just a sage green tiered dress. Really nice style. We had it listed for $14.99. It did sell very quickly at our full asking price. Another bins pickup. This is by the brand Boulder Ridge. This is a black cowhide leather fanny pack. I hadn't heard of this brand before. It seems to do pretty good, but the main reason I picked it up is because I know that fanny packs or waist bags, whatever you want to call them, are very trendy right now, especially when they are made out of leather. And so for all of those reasons, I picked this one up. It sold through an international sale through the global shipping program for our full asking price of $29.99. Here's a brand we almost never pick up, and this is the brand Arizona Jean Company. I would say I come across this fairly often. However, again, almost never pick it up. The reason we picked this up is for a few reasons. So it was a size extra large, which is a great size, and it is an overall dress. Anything with bib overalls on it, whether that's shortalls or plain full-length overalls or overall dresses, in my opinion, do very well. Plus, this was a black denim full button dress, and in my opinion, this is a very trendy style right now. So regardless of brand, we picked it up. We listed for $24.99, and it did sell at our full asking price. You guys know that I love picking up bras also at the bins. They're just such an easy flip, so easy to photograph, and you can get quite a bit of money for them. This is a Victoria's Secret women's no wire bra. This is also a great size in a 38D. Pretty good condition, and I like the print. It's just, again, so easy to list. They're super lightweight, probably cost me like 50 cents. And they flip quickly on both eBay and Poshmark. This one we had listed for $19.99. It sold on an offer for $17.99. Next up is one of my favorite brands to sell. It is Ralph Lauren. This was a really unique sweater, and it was pretty easy to look up because of how unique it was. This was a silk cashmere blend in a size 1X, and the reason I looked at it was because I saw this snake embroidery right here. Snakes are very on trend right now. I see a lot of snake jewelry and then snake patterns on clothing. So I figured this would do pretty well. Then I saw the brand and the material and knew that it was a win-win. This one we had listed for $34.89. It sold very quickly on an offer for $31.40. This is the brand Michael Kors, another brand that retails for a ton but does not have, in my opinion, a very high sell-through rate in the clothing category. However, when it comes to shoes, if the right factors are involved, they do pretty well. I tend to look for the things that have a lot of branding. So these are a pair of suede flats with the MK monogram logo in a metal buckle right there. For that reason, I picked these up. We had them listed for $24.89. They flipped very quickly on an offer for $22.40. These are a pair of women's Laredo leather cowgirl boots. These were called the Leia Vamp Fox boots, and I really thought that I could get more for these, but after finding the exact style and doing comps on this Leia Vamp Fox, I had to price accordingly because I don't want to be priced way higher than everybody else. When they're selling at a certain range, you're just going to end up sitting on it. So I priced according to the market. These ended up selling on an offer for $31. In general, I would say the brand Laredo is good to pick up. Here is the brand label. And normally I can get more for Laredo boots. It's just, again, that this particular style was only going in that range. So these ones sold for $31. Still a great return on investment, and I do love picking up cowboy boots. Another brand that has always performed well for me, but during this time of the year, I definitely keep an eye out for, and that is L.L. Bean. This is a newer men's snap pullover sweater. These snap pullover sweaters and even the quarter zips do very well in the men's department for L.L. Bean. And whenever you see this multicolored logo here, that's usually a pretty good indicator that it is a desirable item. I know a lot of people are looking to have this L.L. Bean logo. This one sold for $28. That was an offer. I definitely think we could have priced this a lot higher. But once again, I'm trying to flip items quickly and get my money back to invest into more items. This is a dress when I showed on a haul, I had a ton of people reach out to me, and I thought the most fair thing to do would just be to list it, and then whoever purchased it first, got first dibs. So I do believe one of the viewers bought this, so thank you so much for that purchase. This was a gorgeous maroon lacy dress, size 2X, just stunning. Tord is a brand that is well loved. A lot of people really like this brand. It has an amazing following, and this style is just really gorgeous, and so again, a very desirable piece. This ended up selling on an offer for $28, and it was a very, very quick sale pretty much as soon as I listed it. And again, I figured it would be based on all the attention that it got on that video. So I hope you really like this dress, and I hope it looks amazing on you. Next up is a bins pickup. This is a 31 wheeled duffel bag. I did not know much about 31 until recently, but you guys, this brand has a pretty significant following, especially in a more substantial piece like these duffel bags. I believe I had this listed at $50 and we accepted an offer of $38. I thought that was a pretty reasonable offer compared to what I listed it at. Next up is one of my favorite brands to sell, and I would absolutely keep your eye out for outerwear or sweaters in this brand. It is the brand Cool. This is a men's alpaca fleeced sweater. Pretty popular style in Cool. The alpaca is faux alpaca basically. And people really like these fleece jackets. This sold for $40, and usually with this brand I'm picking up pretty much everything. And last is another men's piece. This is the brand Nat Nast. We have been finding quite a bit of these and they have been performing extremely well. I will say I have come across a Nat Nast cotton polo shirt, did comps on it, sell-through rate wasn't there. I found some Nat Nast jeans, same thing, sell-through rate wasn't there. But when it comes to the silk button-up shirts in this brand, extremely high sell-through rate, and it does really well. So you guys have to really keep an eye on, just because you're watching videos on YouTube and somebody mentions a brand, it doesn't mean that everything in that brand sells. Really got to keep an eye on your comps and be very specific on what you're looking for. But in this brand, the button-up silk shirts do very, very well, so I highly recommend picking them up. This one sold for $42. And a couple of the viewers did mention to me that this brand pairs very well with the keyword rockabilly. And we didn't get a chance to put that into our listing today because it sold so quickly. But, you know, just for the future, if you see something like this with these color block details, I would say that's a good word to put into your listing. Alright guys, so that's it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Sorry it's in the car. Change of scenery. I know my face is like freaking like shiny. I'm wearing like a dewy foundation today, so it's just like extra shiny. Probably blinding you guys. I'm like blinding myself. And I've got like shadows on my face. This video is a mess. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. If you're not already and you would like to be, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below as well as the notification bell. You will get notified when I make new content. I do what sold videos. They are usually more structured than this. And they're usually not in my car. But again, wanted to get one up today. I also do thrift hauls, so come join me on my channel. Hope to see you guys over there on the next video.